Okay, so welcome to the master class. We're going to talk tonight about Ayurvedic spring cleanse. So I just want to mention really quick too, I was talking with a client today and we were talking about yoga, and there's a lot of yoga everywhere. And the thing is that yoga in Ayurveda is a treatment. And I don't think that people realize that yoga is a treatment. It's meant to be done. It's meant to be used as a way to help bring your body into balance, to help manage your dosha, to help manage your constitution, to help manage whatever is going on in your life if you have an imbalance. So one of the ways that we help to bring our body back into balance is by doing Ayurvedic cleanse. And there's 2 times of the year that we do that. We do it in the fall to prepare for winter so that we have a nice, strong immune system. And we do it in the spring. And we do it in the spring because winter has accumulated. Winter causes accumulation in the body. And what we want to do is we want to help open up our channels from accumulation. It's really important time because when we allow imbalances to continue in our body, and a lot of times we don't really know in the West. I've heard people come into me and they say, oh yeah, I always have constipation. It's the way I've always been. Well, that's an imbalance. That's not normal. And a lot of times you go to your regular doctor and they'll say, oh, it's normal. It's not normal. It's an imbalance. And if you don't take care of those imbalances, they move deeper into the tissues. And it's what we call the disease pathway. Right? And so it moves through this disease pathway until it hits overflow. And when you hit overflow, it then moves out throughout the body and starts then showing up and manifesting, right? We start seeing in our body, oh, I have a rash, or oh, I've got inflammation, or oh, I've got indigestion, I've got constipation, whatever it is, I have lack of appetite. Those are all symptoms of an imbalance, period. So one of the ways to reverse that disease pathway is to do an Ayurvedic cleanse. It's called Panchakarma, and it's a really important technique and treatment that we use in Ayurveda. So I just want to talk to you really quick about some of the benefits, and I did my little write-up so that I wouldn't forget anything. So some of the benefits are it removes stagnation. Well, why does stagnation happen? Because you're constantly having waste that takes place. When you eat food, you eliminate. You have waste as a result of eating. So you're going to have cellular waste. You're going to have metabolic waste. Well, where does it go? Right? How do we eliminate it? How do we remove it from the body physically? And so if it doesn't get removed from the body, it becomes stagnation. It literally mucks up our system. So one of the benefits is that it removes that stagnation. It removes blockage. So if there's stagnation, eventually it could lead to blockage. It removes heaviness and lethargy. It removes lack of appetite, sluggishness, any kind of elimination imbalance. It removes distaste. And by the way, these are all not just physical, mentally and emotionally as well. Okay. It removes bloating, gas, nausea, fever, inflammation, and then more. It basically opens up your channels. You're going to be more energetic. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to have more energy. So that's pretty great right there. Buildup of toxins and undigested material ends up being stored in our cells, our circulatory and microcirculatory channels. And we have a name for the channels in Ayurveda. We don't need to know what the name is, but your energy moves in certain directions, right? And they get plugged up. And then also physical channels as well. And so the digestive and elimination processes, that's where we start to really notice, hey, something's going on. Like that's where you really start noticing it, usually in the digestive system first. Okay. So our solution is that the body naturally wants to remove toxins So we want to enhance that process. It naturally wants to do it. So what we do is we create an opportunity for the body to naturally remove. All right. So we simplify our diet. That's one of the things that we do. We're going to eliminate anything that's going to muck up the system. So what is considered in the West known toxins, sugar, meat, only because meat is heavy and hard to digest. So we eliminate meat, alcohol, dairy, caffeine, processed foods, preservatives, and then we want to eliminate a lot of the carbohydrates. So if we're going to do carbohydrates, they're going to be complex carbohydrates only. Okay. And we're looking to cleanse so that we can remove all the toxic material that gets lodged into the tissues and also in our energy. So we want to remove what the root cause of our imbalances are. And we do that by reversing that disease pathway. Okay. And so here's an example. If you have excess Pitta, so what's Pitta made up of? That fire element, tiny bit of water, mostly fire. So Pitta, if your constitution is mostly fire, then an excess of that fire element of Pitta, it'll show up in the body oftentimes as inflammation or too much heat. And it'll show up in the body tissues, but also in your thoughts and in your behaviors and in your emotions. So we'll start to see people that have a lot of intensity or anger. I have a client that I'm working with right now that she's like, I don't know what's going on with me, but she's just angry all the time. And it's just a sign of excess Pitta. That's all it is. It's not who you are. It's not your personality. Okay. So there are 3 stages to the Ayurvedic cleanse, and I'm just going to go through that really quick, and then we will go over it. We will move on into class because this talk could actually go on for a couple hours. So the first stage is to fix digestion. So we spend the first week making sure that we bring the digestion back into balance, because you need to have a nice, strong digestive fire, which is called your Agni. Your digestive fire needs to be strong, because the second phase is what we call the Oleation Phase. And that's where we literally lubricate you inside and out. So outside, you're applying Ayurvedic oils. Inside, you're taking medicated ghee specific to your constitution. And what it does is it starts loosening everything up. This is my favorite stage, by the way, because my joints feel amazing. My tissues feel amazing. I just feel good. I don't have pain in my body. I mean, it is amazing. It's just you have to have strong digestion. Otherwise, think about it. If you're taking a teaspoon of ghee, ghee's harder to digest. So if you don't have strong digestive fire, you won't be able to digest it. Okay. So that's the second stage, first stage. And then after oleation, we do heat. So we want, now that we've lubricated everything, we then have what's called sudana or swedana, sudation. And what we do is we heat the body up and move out some of the toxins through our pores. That's one way. And then the second stage is the elimination stage. That's totally different for each person. And it's specific. Usually it's purgation. That means I give you herbs and then you poop everything out, right? We lubricate everything. And now all those toxins that have built up in your system, you poop them out. Typically that's what we do. It depends upon your constitution, what's going on with your body. I'll guide you through that. This last stage is the rejuvenation stage. And at this stage, it's all about readjusting your digestion again, rejuvenating, resetting. So you want to actually do the body work part, the massages, all of that to nourish and bring the body back into balance. And then as much as possible, you want to maintain that. You want to keep a healthy diet. So a lot of times people do cleanses and then they go back to their old habits. I don't know if you guys have ever done diets, but one of the realities of a diet is there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a diet. It's called a lifestyle change. You have to commit to, I'm now going to eat like this for the rest of my life, right? Otherwise, a diet, you're just going to go back to what you were before. That's the reality of it. All right. So for that restorative part, we want to support you with ease and flow. Everything is gentle yoga, gentle stretching, gentle exercise. Also, sometimes we give nutritive herbs, so tonics, anything that is going to rejuvenate. Okay. And then you rest and you recover and you go slow and you reintroduce foods and exercise to your body. It's a more sensitive time. You become more sensitive, more aware. It raises your consciousness. It raises your vibration. When you remove toxins physically out of your body, remove them out of your mental body and out of your emotional body and out of your energetic body as well, which means now you are much more aware. You don't have things as a blockage. You are now more sensitive, not in a bad way, in a good way. So the longer you give your body to heal at this stage, the more you can then withstand poor food choices, right? So if you do make a poor food choice, your body can handle it because you're nice and strong and eased back into a more normal, solid foods type of schedule. Okay. So anyway, so that is the gist. And if you have any questions about the Ayurvedic cleanse, reach out to me. I definitely want to support as many people as I can to doing a spring cleanse. I always used to say, oh, you guys just do whatever. And I'm to a point now where I'm starting to say everybody needs to do it, right? Whether it's a small one or a bigger one, that's up to you. But everybody should do some version of a cleanse, unless you're dealing with depletion. Okay. So reach out to me if you're not sure, if you have questions. I'm here for you guys. Okay. So that ends our talk, and we're going to move on to the yoga part of class.